Well, hello there, and welcome back to our channel on this gorgeous day. We are just tickled pink to have you sitting down with us again. We always cherish this time together, sharing the stories that bring us joy and keep us guessing. Let us get right to it. I want to talk to you today about someone who feels like a member of our own extended family, our dear Damian Spinelli, played by the wonderfully talented Bradford Anderson. If you are anything like me, you have probably been wondering where on earth our favorite computer genius has been hiding lately. It seems like only yesterday he was running around Port Charles, bringing that special spark of joy and quirkiness to our screens. Well, some recent tidbits have come to light, and I just could not wait to share my thoughts with you all. It turns out that Bradford himself has been doing some talking, and what he has to say really tugs at the heartstrings of anyone who has loved his character over the years. Now, as many of you lovely ladies might already know, Bradford has a wonderfully entertaining podcast that he hosts alongside his dear friend, Steve Burton, who of course plays our stoic and loyal Jason Morgan. It is called That Is Awesome, and it is just a delight to listen to these two old friends chewing the fat and talking about all sorts of things related to the show. They have such a natural, easygoing chemistry that makes you feel like you are right there in the living room with them, just swapping stories over a slice of pie. Recently, they got to talking about the show's current storylines, and the conversation took a turn that was both incredibly funny and a little bit sad at the same time. I was listening closely, and they started discussing the situation with Peter August. Heavens to Betsy. We all know that Peter has caused enough trouble in Port Charles to last a lifetime, and the man is not even among the living anymore. Yet, somehow, the writers have found a way to keep him front and center. Right now, Peter is appearing as a phantom, a figment of poor Anna Devane's imagination. Because Anna has been struggling so much with her mental health and dealing with all those heavy burdens, she is having these terrible hallucinations of Peter. It is a classic daytime television twist, keeping an actor around even after their character has met their maker, but it certainly got Bradford thinking about his own situation. I have to tell you, Bradford had the funniest reaction to this whole Peter August business, but you could hear a real ring of truth behind his humor. He started joking about how much screen time Peter was getting despite being completely deceased. Bradford playfully suggested that if being a hallucination was what it took to get on the television screen, then he was all for it. I heard him practically begging, in a lighthearted way, of course, asking why he could not just live inside Jason's head, or maybe take up residence in someone else's mind. He just wants to be on the screen, plain and simple. It made me chuckle, but it also made me feel a deep sense of sympathy for the man. Bless his heart, Bradford even went so far as to joke that if Damian Spinelli were to suddenly pass away, he might actually end up getting more work on the show. Now, that is a dark little joke, but it perfectly captures the strange reality of soap operas, where the dead sometimes work harder than the living. Steve Burton, being the good friend that he is, jumped right into the fun. He started throwing out the idea of a ghost Spinelli roaming the halls of General Hospital, popping up out of nowhere and haunting everyone in town. Can you just imagine that? Spinelli's ghost trying to hack into the heavenly mainframe. It is a hilarious picture to paint in your mind. But beneath all that friendly banter and good-natured ribbing, it is clear as a bell to me that Bradford Anderson is feeling genuinely frustrated. And who could blame him? He is a brilliant actor who has poured his heart and soul into creating a character that is entirely unique. There is nobody else on daytime television quite like the Jackal. To see him sidelined and begging for scraps of screen time, even jokingly, really highlights a problem. He wants to be out there, doing what he loves, entertaining all of us who have supported him for so long. It is hard for a hardworking person to be told to sit on the bench when they know they have so much more to give to the team. The reason for all this frustration, of course, goes back to the writers' recent decisions regarding Spinelli's storyline. As we all watched, they decided to pack Spinelli up and send him all the way across the world to Australia. He went on what was supposed to be a lovely summer vacation with Maxie Jones and their precious little blended family. They took sweet Georgie, little Bailey Louise, and now we hear that James West is going to be joining them to live down under permanently. Now, I am all for family togetherness, and I want Maxie and Spinelli to be happy, but sending them to the other side of the planet feels like a deliberate choice to push them out of the spotlight. I just cannot help but scratch my head at what the writers are thinking sometimes. They keep coming up with these elaborate, out-of-the-way excuses to write Spinelli out of the main action. It is almost as if they do not know what to do with a character who brings lightness and humor to a show that can sometimes get awfully dark and heavy. We need that balance. We need the sunshine that Spinelli brings. Bradford clearly wants his character to be a regular fixture in Port Charles again, walking into Kelly's for a bite to eat or rushing into Jason's orbit with some wild new conspiracy theory. That is the Spinelli we know and love. Unfortunately, because the story has firmly established that Spinelli is now working in Australia and settling down there with his beautiful family, it does not look like his lack of screen time is going to change in the immediate future. It is a bitter pill to swallow for those of us who look forward to seeing his smiling face. When a character puts down roots in another country, it usually means the writers are putting them on the back burner for a long, long time. It makes my heart heavy to think that we might only get fleeting glimpses of him, or perhaps just hear his name mentioned in passing by other characters. That is simply not enough for a character of his caliber. Think about the massive void this leaves in Port Charles. Without Spinelli, who is going to be the quirky, fast-talking genius that saves the day when all the chips are down? Jason Morgan and Spinelli have one of the most beautiful, unconventional friendships I have ever seen on television. Jason is so quiet and serious, and Spinelli is a whirlwind of words and energy. They balance each other perfectly. I just cannot imagine Jason navigating the dangerous waters of his life without his trusted jackal behind a computer screen, ready to pull off a technological miracle at a moment's notice. It feels like a piece of the show's heart has been packed away in a suitcase. And what about Maxie? We have watched that girl grow up, make mistakes, find love, and face heartbreak. We finally have her in a stable, loving place with Spinelli, and instead of letting us enjoy their happiness on our screens, they are whisked away. I understand that happy couples sometimes lack the dramatic conflict that soap operas thrive on, but surely there is a way to keep them involved in the town's happenings without tearing their relationship apart. We want to see them raising those beautiful children, facing everyday challenges, and supporting their friends in Port Charles. We do not want them hidden away in a completely different hemisphere. However, I always try to look on the bright side, and there is a silver lining to all of this. Even though he is far away, Spinelli is still very much alive and well. As long as he is out there, the door is always open for a return. We all know that in the world of Port Charles, a crisis is never far away. The moment a major storyline requires someone with unparalleled computer skills, someone who can hack into the most secure systems in the world, you better believe they will be picking up the phone to call Damian Spinelli. If his specific talents are needed, I have no doubt he would hop on the first flight back home to help his friends. There is also a very interesting rumor floating around that I just have to share with you. Some folks are whispering that this real-life frustration Bradford is feeling might actually be the seed for a brand new, shocking storyline. What if Spinelli's absence and the dissatisfaction surrounding it are all part of a larger plan? Perhaps something happens in Australia that forces him back, or maybe a new threat emerges that only he can see coming. If this current situation leads to a massive, unexpected twist that brings the jackal back to the forefront where he belongs, then maybe this dry spell will have been worth it. We can certainly hope that the writers are cooking up a spectacular surprise for us. In the end, I just want to send all my love and support to Bradford Anderson. He is a treasure, and he deserves to be showcased and celebrated. It is incredibly endearing to see how much he cares about his role and how eager he is to continue entertaining us. I know that all of us longtime viewers feel the exact same way. We miss our jackal, we miss his unique way of speaking, and we miss the pure heart he brings to every single scene. We will keep our fingers crossed, keep watching, and keep hoping that the squeaky wheel gets the grease and our favorite computer genius makes his way back home very soon. I truly believe that the voices of the fans matter, and when we share our love for characters like Spinelli, the powers that be just might listen. Until then, we will just have to hold on to the wonderful memories he has given us over the years and trust that his story is far from over. Thank you so much for sitting down and spending this time with me today. It is always such a comfort to talk about these things with friends who understand exactly how it feels. Keep your spirits up, keep hoping for the best, and I just know we will have more exciting news to share with you before you know it. Take care of yourselves and have a wonderfully blessed day.